All right, let's get into the content for today. Somebody had mentioned that iDubbbz made a weird video. This is what they're saying. I'm not saying that this is the truth. It's not my truth, guys. It's not my truth. But they said that iDubbbz made a weird video about the Cartnarcs and that they didn't particularly care for it. So I figured, hey, let's take a look at it and let's see what we got here. You know, maybe we'll have some. Maybe we can engage in some fun Cartnarc slander. Who wouldn't love that? Let's have fun. So let's just get this going. I guess not. Let's.
Salutations, my mud-blooded Americans. Today I'm wearing
Say mudblood or mudblood?
my studded leather sash.
Mug.
Gives me 8 strength and 8 agility, which
he's getting he's getting WoW cringe. He's getting WoW cringe, dude. He's getting into the WoW cringe. I saw that he was playing Season of Discovery. I haven't played in a while. It's just not really captivating me.
no. Let's do that over again. Why did I say agility? 8 strength and 8 stamina. Today we're going to be complaining. Welcome back to iDubbbz Complains. On today's episode, I'm going to be complaining about the Cartnarc. Now, if you're not familiar with Cartnarc,
Complaining about the Cartnarc. That's a tough one, man. That's slanderous. A lot of people would be very upset by that. Me personally, I always put my cart. That thing's rolling for days. I always put my cart back because I'm a good boy. But I also don't really care if you do necessarily. You know, as long as you don't block anybody else's way, I don't really care. The Cartnarc is funny though. It's like just something funny to engage with sometimes.
it's basically this guy, Sebastian, who works for a radio show, who had the idea to shame people who aren't bringing their carts back to the cart corral.
Dinged car doors, spots taken up.
Where did I die?
Grocery prices raised sky high because employees have to go out and spend their time hunting down carts.
True, but that means that it employs more people, if you think about it. You know, that's why Aldi, people make fun of me for saying it like that, but I don't care. That's why Aldi is a little cheaper, because they make it so that you have to bring your cart back. It's the whole quarter thing. Like, you just put in a quarter and you get a cart, and it makes you want to like put your cart back in the right spot. It's actually kind of funny. It is effective though. It does seem to work pretty well. So hey, why not?
We are publicly shaming those dicks who don't take back their shopping carts.
Okay.
Cartnarc, you curved your cart. You didn't take it back to the cart corral where it belonged.
People get so angry, dude. It's so funny. I would laugh, especially knowing that this is like a whole YouTube bit. It's just so funny. Unless I wanted to just bust somebody's chops and I wanted to like I wanted to feed into the trolling, then I would be a little different. I just like Cartnarc, to be honest, but then people get angry. Yeah, that's what makes it funny, is people getting angry. Like, I don't glaze the Cartnarc like a lot of other people do, but oh my god.
Okay, that's the second curbing, by the way. No,
see, I think the curbing is fine. I'm not a huge fan, but you know what? At least it's not in somebody else's way. That's the way I look at it.
Not okay, you fucker.
But I'm a nice guy. No, ma'am, you left your cart here like a lazy bones.
Yeah?
What are you bothering us for?
Because you left your cart out.
So what?
So that's gonna block someone's spot.
I don't care.
It ended up being
Yeah, see, you can't be blocking somebody's spot. You can't be doing that. That's too far.
entertaining for a good amount of people, and I was definitely one of those people where I was
What
like,
happens if I take this off?
I think this is interesting. I like the idea. It is pretty inoffensive to like approach someone and be like, hey, you mind taking your shopping cart back? But the problem is we've sort of graduated from that.
See, that attitude's getting you a hood magnet of shame, sir. Go with a hood magnet, since that was a Gotcha. Another one in progress over here. Hold on. I'll be back in a spot. Here, let me get you another one right there.
Bro, I would love a magnet. I would love a magnet from this guy. I think that would be so funny. If anything, this would incentivize me to be even less responsible.
But now we're on season 17 of the Cartnarcs, and I'm like, just sort of over it. The what if question was already answered. It's basically like, what if we did this? Well, the answer is some people get upset, and you know.
Yeah, that's fun. I mean, like I feel like that's everything, though, right? Hey, let's do a thing, and then the same thing will happen. I mean, everybody to some degree is repetitive, or they engage with like repetitive content. Like, you know, somewhat of what you're getting with the Papa Gut stream. You're getting a lot of gooning. So, you know, I feel like it's a little bit of everything. Though I guess the one, and I don't like look at Cartnarcs religiously, but so I wouldn't be able to tell. But does he harass people now? Like, does he make it like exponentially worse? How much worse has it got? Has it gotten like really bad where he's starting to up the ante just to get more attention? Is that what's happening?
You know, you can say it's justified or not, doesn't really matter, but we got our answer. just asking someone to take their shopping cart back doesn't really evoke a strong reaction in people.
It's not where the carts go.
Well, yeah, I feel like most people don't really care. But, you know, you get your few. And I imagine there's some people who know who he is. So they're like, oh, dude, it's the cart fart, you know? That's I wish.
There's some lazy bones. Well, I know why, because you're being a lazy bones.
Most people will just fucking ignore it, drive off. They won't throw a hissy fit. The first topic I want to cover with the Cartnarcs is the insult of lazy bones.
You're very tired right now, and that's causing an error in your judgment. Lazy bones. Be a better person and not be so lazy bones. What we do is we narc out people who are being big old lazy bones and not taking
I remember her. I remember that one for some reason. That one sticks out in my mind.
the carts back. You're being a lazy bone.
And I do have a handicap, actually.
Is your disability lazy bones-itis?
There's a lot
This is getting me.
of people who say like, yeah, this ain't so bad. The Cartnarc, he's hitting people with the white people insults. What's so wrong with that? It's like,
I mean, I don't think anybody thought that. White people insults. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm just like, oh, it's just funny. It's just like stupid. That's all I'm thinking. Just unpack me.
dude, if someone called you lazy bones, would you not feel fucking awful? Especially if you're being lazy? That shit.
No, I would never care. I would laugh it off and walk away. Even when people make me angry, I ignore them. I don't care.
Is like a level 9 white people insult. Those hurt. It's in that weird area of like, you're not being like barbaric. You're not calling someone an asshole and flipping them off. Fuck you, asshole. It's like when you see someone doing that, almost like violent and aggravated, you almost feel bad because it's like, ooh, you don't have control of what's going on here.
What the hell are you talking about, brother? What the fuck are you on about? What is this? What is this? Was a Yap special? What are you talking about? I don't think anybody... I don't think anybody's like, oh my god. It's funny because some people get upset, but that's because they're dumb. I don't think that's ever offensive to anybody.
I think one of the worst insults that I've ever received in my life was a white person insult, and it was just a really well-placed, no shit, Sherlock. Like if
What is with the white people stuff? What are you doing?
someone hits you with a no shit Sherlock at the right moment in time, you can't recover from that. Another point that I'd like to address, I think often goes unnoticed by people, and that is two people can be assholes simultaneously.
Sure.
Two parties, however you want to put it, you know, you can dislike both people and think that they're both being unreasonable and shitty. The person not taking their car back, yeah, absolutely. Unreasonable, lazy, whatever you want to like attribute to them.
Yeah, you should call him the N-word, I think.
Okay. But to pretend that Agent Sebastian isn't being an asshole and he isn't being an unreasonable piece of shit, like, come on.
I mean, he's definitely being an asshole, but an unreasonable piece. I just feel like it's not that deep. I mean, I feel like this is one of the lesser... The certainly less harmful pranks. This is so
you're
dark.
harassing people who leave their carts?
Polite ask. Without a harass. It's a polite ask.
It is a little bit of a harass, sure, but I don't think it's a big deal. I wouldn't make a whole video about it.
We're sweet and loving about it. Like he's being lazy bones in a couple other ways. Oral hygiene and such. This is the thing with these lazy bones sympathizers and crackheads. Like maybe you were like just off homeless dudes all day. That's why you're tired. Is that why you're...
What? Jerking off homeless dudes? All right, I can see how that maybe crosses the line. Because it gets... The reason I'll say that crosses the line is because I think lazy bones is like kind of just a silly little thing. But when you start, in my opinion, you start to get a little bit... saying stuff like that is very intentionally provocative. That's trying to elicit a response. Like you're trying to piss them off. To me, lazy bones is just like, I'm being a little silly. But when you say that you're jerking off homeless people, it might be funny, but now you're trying to rile people up for content. And it's like, okay, that does cross, I guess, a little bit of a line, you know?
You're tired from giving props to homeless man for charity, because it's a charity thing. We're sweet and loving about it. Very polite.
I also want to say that ignoring someone's wishes for you to leave them alone after they very clearly said 15 times in multiple different ways, leave me alone, get away from my car, get away from me. If you continue to ignore that, you're
gay. I'm sorry.
Fucking creepy.
I wouldn't really say creepy. I would say maybe annoying. Creepy seems creepy seems a little much.
You're starting this shit. Back the fuck off.
try to build it.
Leave me the fuck away from me! You do not get anywhere near me! Stop it!
Yeah, I mean, I would say I would say that if it gets to the point where they're getting really irate, it is your responsibility to like de-escalate because you're there to get a reaction. But if they're getting like really heated and yelling, you know, at that point, I feel like, you know, if something happens, it's kind of on you at that point, you know.
Leave me alone!
Like the door-to-door salesmen take like at max like 4 no's. They'll take 4 no's from someone before they leave.
You know, it's funny. We were in Hot Topic today, and they have the Hot Topic cache, which is cool. And we didn't bring it with us, but now they do it like through your thingamabobber. You know what I'm saying? They do it through your phone number. And the person walked up to us while we were just regular shopping, like, "Oh, do you want me to just check it out for you? See if you have any?" And I was like, "No, thank you," because she didn't want to buy anything. But they were persistent, and I was like, "Yeah, do it. Let me see how much hot cash they have." But my wife didn't want to, and they kept pushing her though. I think it's because they sensed my energy, so we ended up buying some stuff. I bought one of the Kenneth hats. I'm not wearing it though. Sorry.
This guy will take, I don't know, like 15 to 20 no's, and he'll keep going. Yes, it's very easy to call these people unhinged. Another word you can use is disabled. Their brain isn't working like yours or mine.
Disabled? What? I haven't seen a single person that I would have identified as like legitimately disabled.
For some people, they feel like they have to answer the door.
What the fuck are you talking about? Like listen, I would say I'm an advocate for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities on the internet. Like a little bit, right? Like I have sympathy for people that most people on the internet don't. But none of these people seem like they're disabled. They just seem like they're annoying.
And what you got to understand with the magnet is the magnet isn't just a magnet. The magnet is like a fucking barnacle. They're barnacles
I love the magnet.
that remind the driver that, 1, they did a bad thing, and 2, it reminds them of the asshole they just interacted with.
We have these bumper magnets for you. I'm gonna put it right here on the side of your truck. There you go. Let's go with the big old sucker here. Woo! Boy, I love that. It's a nice slap right there. German shopping cart like a jerk.
I love the magnet, dude.
There you go. You got that one. Got it. Yes. Let's go right there on the hood. Giving that to you up there. Yeah, I know you're type. You're a big tough guy.
I actually think the Cartnarc can up his game in this category because the magnets, I mean, they're a great tool.
What does this guy do?
And I think that he should really lean into the fact that it's not technically illegal because you can remove it. So I think he should. I
mean, listen, I feel like it's a magnet, so it's not that big of a deal. I personally don't see the magnet as like an issue. But
should just up the grade of magnet. I'm thinking neodymium or higher.
Skibbity beep beep. That's not where the carts go.
Skibbity toilet.
That's not where the carts go. Looks like they're about to head off.
That's what it seemed like.
Oh fuck. And go. Shit.
What the fuck is this? I don't think that throwing. Okay, that's a little different than the magnet he's using. He's using like a refrigerator magnet. You're throwing like a whole fucking thing. What?
Let me just also point out the fact.
I thought that iDubbbz gave up this whole content cop weird cancellation thing. How come he's kind of doing it, but to somebody he feels like it's safer to do it to?
That you got Randall from Recess and you got Hall Monitor SpongeBob. These characters are like funny when you don't have to deal with them. You know, I hate to break it to you guys, but
yeah, but you could just walk away. I mean, again, like maybe some of it pushes a little bit of the line. I won't lie. Sure, okay, but I don't know. I feel like it's not worth a whole video. I mean, I just think that they need to de-escalate. That's their responsibility to do. You show us an instance where they didn't necessarily do that. Yeah. Look, I got a slave girl working for. Well, okay, that's a little racist, but I'm sorry. Well, not really, because she's white, so it's okay.
But the fish whose house was invaded by the open window maniac, they're actors, so they consented to SpongeBob breaking into their home. All of this is like scripted. What's happening with the Cartnarc? That's not scripted. These are real people just trying to get through their day. You know, any antagonizing, like they didn't want that to happen. And they tried to make their boundaries clear. If you look on the recess.fandom wiki, It says, Leonard Weems is the father of Randall J. Weems. He has a similar personality to Randall, as he enjoys being a snitch and believes friends get in the way. So even with Randall, when we look at what he's doing on the recess playground, we're like, oh man, Randall, you shouldn't be doing that. But I can at least be empathetic to know that, one, you're a child, two, you're an actor. You're just, it's all acting. And three, your father's a fucking rat. I would just like to have a lot more of this context for the Cartnarc, because if you're gonna, record someone at their fucking lowest and like antagonize people to the point where they blow up at you, we should at least know, some of your history. He's able to do the like irony poisoning thing where a lot of people who are watching it are like, oh, it's just jokes. It's just jokes. But he's like, no, actually, I'm very serious about this. Like on his radio program.
Well, maybe he just has a thing. Maybe a shopping cart killed his mother. I don't fucking know. I don't feel like it's not this deep though.
They have like a segment where they're talking about how he loves calling the cops on people.
And of course I called the cops, and of course they didn't show at least the 10 minutes that I was there. Call the cops on these people, or else they'll keep doing it. Panhandling, which is against the law. Blocking the sidewalk, which is against the law. Drinking in public, which is definitely against the law. And I called the cops.
You gotta arrest him! I think he was suggesting calling the cops for someone who was panhandling. So it isn't surprising that he also cares about the shopping carts going in their place.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, fuck, that hurt. I'm not gonna lie. It bothers the shit out of me, too. Who doesn't get bothered by... Oh, this thing is fucking me up. Who doesn't get bothered by the shopping cart sometimes? I do. I get it. I mean, like, when people don't put it away, I get a little bothered, too. I understand it.
I do genuinely think the Cartnarc is trying to be ethical and reasonable about how he does what he's doing, but it's kind of hard to be ethical and reasonable when you have tasked yourself with something that is not ethical or reasonable to be doing. So you have to like cherry pick what you're going to be serious about and not serious about. He was talking to some guy on this podcast about the guy he antagonized in the Trader Joe's parking lot.
That's another comment we get here and there is, you don't know what was going on in their life. They must have had a terrible day.
I think that guy had some...
I mean, maybe. You listen, everybody has those days. But also, put your cart back. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. Put your fucking cart back. You can put your cart back, you stinky little goose. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion.
Serious stuff going on.
Yeah.
Regardless of your interaction with him, I think I don't know what it was. Either mental issues or...
Well, it seemed like he was a contractor
drama.
or something. Like he seemed to be gainfully employed. But yeah, maybe not.
I mean, I guess I get it for optics. Like, obviously, you can't really do your Cartnarc thing if your audience is able to tell that the person you're antagonizing is like unemployed and struggling in life. If it's
that's even more of a reason to bully that person, right? Because they're because it's funny. Fuck them, Hey, let me bully the unemployed person. Hey, kind of fucking based, if you ask me, man. Kind of based. I'm just kidding. But why are you unemployed? Just get a job. I'm just kind of kidding. I mean, like, yeah, you could probably try to get a job. But anyway, I feel like it's not that deep, It's
easy for the audience to tell how much someone's struggling. You're not really going to get any sympathy points. Everyone's going to have sympathy for the person you're antagonizing. I think the worst aspect of the Cartnarc videos is him identifying someone.
Maybe the reason that they're struggling is because they're depressed, and depressed people, they don't tend to really, sometimes they don't do enough for themselves. Sometimes all you got to do maybe is work out a little bit or move around, motivate yourself to do like one little extra thing. For instance, put your card away. You never, you know what I mean? Is
essentially not being all together and being like a very vulnerable person, whether they're disabled, whether their car is kind of shitty or broken down, and basically being like, all right, this person doesn't seem like a threat because their life is kind of in shambles. So that means I can push their buttons harder.
Uh-oh.
Like, is there a particular example of somebody, like maybe there's one guy you're talking about? Because so far, I haven't really seen anybody where that would be like, wow, what are you doing? Why are you bullying this guy? It doesn't seem like that big of a fucking deal. To me, what?
Balling it up. Yeah. Want to go back to throwing school, sir? I got some late, he's like...
How long are you gonna play this fucking game, man?
Until you take your cart back.
Get the fuck away. Get the fuck away.
I'll put one on the back here. So
Stop it.
Sir?
Stop it right now.
You stop it. Let's see what
It's a fucking magnet. Who cares? I don't know. I don't understand why people get so offended by the
I'm
magnet.
doing is I'm being nice. Why are you so angry?
My motto is no violence whatsoever. People say, well, that was a small guy. You could have taken him, Cartnarcs. Like, that's not the point.
Yeah.
It's for me to beat guys up. But this guy was such a little guy, and I was like, okay, I'll let him swing at me once. But it was overheating because it was like 105 degrees.
I would say that if the biggest criticism, and I think the best criticism, is like when you rile somebody up that much, you should you should stop. That's the thing. Like if you could see that it's escalating beyond like a reasonable degree, that's when you should be like, okay, this is obviously too much. I should probably stop now. Yeah, let's use the girl. Get him.
That sort of like flippant behavior makes me want to it makes me want to be violent. It makes me want to be very
Will she
violent.
shoot him? Oh shit!
This guy was
She fucks
such
him up.
a little guy, and I was like, okay, I'll let him swing at me once.
My fucking wife!
I didn't mess with your wife, sir. She's chasing me. I'm being chased. Hey, can you call security? There's a guy chasing me.
So at that point, if somebody's attacking this guy, that's kind of on him. You know what I mean? Because he is harassing people. So it's like, I don't feel bad for him if somebody attacks him because he's trying to get that response. So that's, I guess, my only criticism is he's doing a little too much.
He's trying to be violent. Sir, I'm not going to fight you.
You understand people not wanting the magnet because they might think it's a tracker? Oh, I guess. And it's a little conspiratorial, though, but okay.
Goodness gracious. Where'd he go?
Really finna knock this.
That's why I want to stay away. Well, I'm staying away for safety. Sir, please, who's threatening to beat me up, knock me out. To keep my distance, obviously, Cartnarketeers, because I don't want to get in a physical fight with that gentleman.
The Cartnarc calls
Gun bones?
people who don't return their shopping carts lazy bones, and if they get mad and yell at him, he calls them angry bones. I'd like to propose a few more bones. Angry bones is like the Cartnarc's dream zone. If you can fall on this part of the spectrum, it's perfect. It's like the Goldilocks zone. Next up, you have fist bones, and this is where things start to get like a little bit more dodgy.
I'm being chased. Hey, can you call security? There's a guy chasing me. He's trying to be violent.
Now, gun bones is actually a very interesting one because that's more violence. It's very life-altering violence.
Do I have this thing?
It
I don't think I
awards
do.
you some privileges. What I mean when I say this is a guy from Texas actually threatened Agent Sebastian with a gun. He said, I'm going to put about 6 in you.
I'm fixing to kill you, and I'm a killer. I'm fixing to put about 6 right in your forehead.
Unsurprisingly, Agent Sebastian left him alone after that. I think the energy was very clear that he was
Yeah, I would too, man. He's going to shoot me? I don't think it's worth that much.
willing to shoot him over this. There was another instance where a guy pulled out a gun and cocked it. Obviously, Sebastian didn't continue to antagonize him. He left him alone, and he even blurred out the guy's work truck in the video he posted.
Well, that's good. He should be doing that, I think.
And I think he said, like, I don't want this guy's business to be affected by this interaction or some shit like that. And I'm like, bro, you go around talking about, like, shaming people.
We are publicly shaming those dicks.
Here's a perfect time to shame someone. That was clearly an overreaction. Cocking a gun. Perfect time to shame.
I think he was just afraid of the gun. That would be my assertion,
Shame someone, but you don't want their business affected. You don't think someone's life is affected or their mental health is affected when you post a video of them having a freak out in a parking lot for 15 minutes? You don't think their life is affected, but you can have some sympathy for the business owner? I think.
Well, yeah. I mean, I do understand that. I think that I guess. I mean, one of them could ruin that person. I don't know. I feel like going after the business could be a little more, I guess you'd say, provocative than simply, like, fucking with a person. I guess that makes sense. I think that's the idea. So, yeah.
I think we can all do the mental work it takes to understand why these decisions are made by Sebastian. It's basically like, if this guy's business is heavily affected by my fucking video, then all of a sudden I'm engulfed in controversy and it's now a problem. But for the guy who has to fucking open his PT Cruiser by reaching out of the car and pulling it open like that, no one's
Maybe he's just a cool guy that reaches through the PT Cruiser.
gonna fucking care about this guy. I don't care about his mental health. I don't care about what he's struggling with.
This mental health thing is
so
weird.
I get free reign to put this guy online. It is really bad, and it's win more. Like, clearly this guy has a fucking business. He's able to drive around with a fucking firearm and essentially get a guy to not fuck with him. Like, that's extremely win more.
I guess the moral of the story is just waste a ball. Carry a firearm, guys.
These aren't the guys who we should be worried about and who deserve to be antagonized.
What are all these parking violations for, by the way? That's a lot of them.
Yeah, they're all illegal too.
They aren't. They aren't. The people who are probably most deserving of being antagonized by the Cartnarc are the ones who basically guffaw and just drive off. It seems as though this peasant has just left his magnet on my car. The poor fool doesn't realize that I have no obligation to address his qualms with me. Let's put it this way, Sebastian and the Narcoteers. If it's really worth it for someone to not take the cart back to the cart corral, their life is not fucking roses. Their life is not
What? Fuck, I keep doing that in accident. So if somebody's not taking their cart back, then it's because they must have a lot of bad stuff going on? Is that the argument there? What? It's just so silly. Listen, again, I think that there's a certain point that it gets to where it's like, yeah, let's leave this guy alone. I agree with like that general point, but the assumption that if somebody's life is a little crazy or something, or if somebody's not putting their cart back means that they must have a lot going on, that just seems a little silly to me, no? It seems like a little bit of a stretch. Stretching my booty hole open.
pleasant. I know we love to make all of their actions malicious, but it's just not the fucking reality. They're not thinking about you. Not thinking about you isn't the biggest crime. We do it every fucking day. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of iDubbbz Complains. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you want to hear me complain about more shit, I do that on the podcast, She Ruined My Career. That is available on the Maximum Damage channel. And yeah, I also stream 18 hours a week over on Twitch. So if you want to come and check that out occasionally. I'm not really ranting over there. It's more like playing World of Warcraft. But yeah, thank you so much for watching.
Okay.
Toodles.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's not that deep. You know? I feel like it wasn't really that deep. That's it. I don't know why. Listen, here's the thing. I think the Cartnarcs thing is fine. You know, I put it up to a prank. I think the pranks can be okay. I think that when it gets to the point where somebody getting, to a degree, harassed, that's where it obviously passes a point of no return. And you should be de-escalating since you're making content out of it, you know, because they could even, I mean, I feel like they'd have a strong case against you if you didn't de-escalate. But I don't think it's this deep, talking about people with disabilities and stuff, and going on to the tangent of like, if they're not putting their cart back, they must have something going on, or maybe they're an asshole. Who really cares?